What is going on, Thunder fans? Welcome back, Thunder Forum Live, post-game instant reaction as Thunder win it over the Magic, 105-99 in a big victory for the Thunder after traveling across the United States there in a day. They get the victory in a game that really was like it came in waves, man. You'd have the Thunder doubling them up in the second quarter, 36-18. And then the third quarter kind of flipped the script and Orlando made a big run. But the Thunder hold off. And Hunter, I go back to, I can't remember if it was the end of the third or first of the fourth. There was a period of time where J-Dub and Isaiah Joe got to the rim and like 4 or 5 possessions in a row, got right up to the rim and finished. And to me, that changed the game. They started there for a little bit, Hunter, to go back into settling for threes. And they got out of it. They started driving the ball because let's face it, when J-Dub, Shai, some of these guys want to drive and get to the rim, they can. So I like that they were able to do that. And then they kind of pull away there closer to the end and get the victory.
Yeah, that was about 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter when that happened. And yeah, the Thunder were pulling away. I mean, just dominating in the first half. You mentioned that 36-18 box score for the second quarter, and then third quarter hits, and they're allowing a 17-0 run. That really made it a game down the stretch, and that's why it was a 6-point game. And I mean, Anthony Black really leading it.
That's good
for the Magic, former Arkansas Razorback. 31 minutes for him, 23 points, 3 of 6 from 3. But yeah, that part of it is I don't think it's necessarily a concern because runs happen in the NBA. They just do. That's part of it. I mean, a lot of times any lead can be blown. That's just how the game works at that level. So yeah, but they were able to hold on and get the win. It's now 10 of their last 11 wins in regular season. The Bucks loss does not count at all for the record books. So, yeah, a good win. Day one of a back-to-back. Tomorrow, a late game. I believe 7 o'clock Central Time. Yeah. So 8 o'clock local time against the Miami Heat. So against Eric Spoelstra, Jimmy Butler, all those guys. So if that's one thing that I would have to go back and look at the Thunder's record in back-to-backs this year. They haven't had many because of how they've started to adjust the schedules to allow for rest for guys. But if my memory is serving me correctly, the Thunder have struggled in those back end of a back-to-back.
Yeah, and I see a few people on there talking about J-Dub. I agree. J-Dub's got to be better. I mean, I think anybody would agree with that. 11 points. He's got to be better. I do think he was key in certain moments tonight, getting to the rim. It was a big deal for them at that time. But yeah, he's got to be better. He didn't shoot it very well. I think personally, I mean, I was watching the game and then I was also checking the box score to look at stats. And I noticed, it was third quarter, start of the third quarter, and Thunder had already thrown up 26, 27 threes. And they end up only shooting 31 threes, I think, which they started to not just settle. And even the announcer said they're settling. And to me, I don't mind the threes, Hunter, when somebody's driving and passing it out and there's a guy open. It's the more one-on-one step-back threes that I think bother me. And Chris says J-Dub has looked more like he did versus Dallas in the playoffs more times than not. He is averaging, I think, 23 a game or something. Is that what they said on the broadcast night? He's probably going to be an all-star.
Yes, I would be shocked if he's not an all-star. He's
averaging he's play that way. And what's that?
21.7 right now, which is I had the number in front of me, 30th in the league, so top 30. Yeah. A bad night for him, but like you mentioned, there was, I think he had 3, maybe 2 of getting to the hoop early in the fourth quarter to really kind of, Thunder are going to be able to win this game. They're going to be able to outlast the Magic in that sense. But SGA, 35.
Played good.
Yeah, 35 points tonight. Another 30-point game for him. That's his 14th of the year so far, and where this is game 36 or 26, sorry, all over the place right now. But again, not shooting the three well. 1 of 5, 1 of 5 for J-Dub as well. And yeah, they did shoot a lot of threes early on. And they were making them early on. I mean, at one point, I think they made like 6 threes in the first quarter and a half, and they finished 31.
Yeah, and Chris brings up a point. Another thing I don't like is they let anyone other than J-Dub bring the ball up the court. It never goes well. And they got sloppy in general in the third quarter. I mean, Shai made a couple of bad passes, just pretty sloppy play there for a little bit. But you know who I thought played a really good game was Hartenstein. Hartenstein just does a lot of things, man. Rebounds, he passes the ball well, he's physical. I mean, he does a lot. And as many times as you watch him shoot that little floater, think, man, that's not very pretty. He makes it most of the time. And so I'll take it. And I wish they would do the little pick and roll with him a little bit more, especially when they're struggling offensively. It's like something you can get almost any time down the court.
I think they're going to start to do that a lot more. When you're seeing how well he's playing offensively, get him more opportunities. Pick and roll is something they really have not done a whole lot. Mm-hmm. Start doing it. That's going to get him more opportunities. Or if you don't pass it, you're going to have a lane to the hoop there, drive, score, maybe even draw a foul. What I liked tonight the most was Alex Caruso. 3 made threes for him. 3 of 7. Shot 7 threes, nothing else. But, I mean, those were 3 pretty big threes, I would say, at points of the game of either when the Magic are starting to run or kind of doing it went to add to a Thunder run. Then also we've talked a lot about Aaron Wiggins lately.
31 minutes, man.
31 minutes, 2 of 3 from 3. He had 11 points and finish. Led the team plus minus with plus 15. So
got to play more. Period.
The other thing that was kind of interesting is you would think Case and Wallace would play more than 21 minutes. That's all we got tonight. And Isaiah Joe.
That was kind of surprising. That was kind of surprising. And then AJ Mitchell only 9, which I think that's where he needs to be.
Yes, and no Dylan Jones tonight. He did not play. Coach's decision. So
correct.
10-man rotation. So first time in a while that's happened, if at all, this year. Thunder also did force 18 turnovers tonight. So
they did a good job forcing turnovers.
That part of it, 6 steals or 15 steals, 6 blocks. SGA had 4 steals, 2 blocks. Hartenstein, 4 steals. Caruso, 4 steals. Just continues to be a lockup defender.
Yeah, and the Thunder would be up a creek right now without Hartenstein. I mean, you look at it, the reboundings. I mean, he had 12 rebounds. I don't have it in front of me. I think maybe the next closest guy with the Thunder was like 4. I mean, he just.
You are correct.
Is that right? I mean,
4. SGA or Dort. So
so without him, I mean, he is your guy on the boards right now, and super glad he's back because the lineup they were trying to throw out there with J-Dub in a game like this with those big guys they had, it would have been a struggle. So it was great to see Hartenstein, and I just love the way he battles under there for rebounds, man. I know he's a tall, big guy, but he battles just like he's not that big. But I love to see it. His passing, his screen game's unreal. Love to see it as well. But I think Hunter, you mentioned Aaron Wiggins plus minus. And maybe he's getting healthier, maybe that's why, but he has got to play, I think, 25 minutes a game. I just think that's really,
I think that, especially when still uncertain on when Jalen Williams is coming back.
Yeah.
They will. I thought he would be back by now, hopefully soon for the Thunder, because that will help a lot too, of another big to where you can play Kenrich Williams a little bit at the 4 at times, and also a little bit more rotation for Hartenstein to not have to play as many minutes at time and to help with rebounding when he's off the floor. I mean, we're talking about tonight, the second leader in rebounds was point guard and the small forward. So not good. Kenrich Williams had 2 and 11 minutes, only 11 minutes for him tonight. But thought a solid game for him. And again, another night in which the Thunder play a team without their star player. That's
I know
they've gotten about
a
as
lot
lucky
this
as you
year.
can get in terms of how their schedule has fallen against opposing teams to be without a star player. That's significant.
Yeah, and you want to hear a wild stat. If you're watching the game, you heard it from the announcers. They didn't say the stat, I don't think, but they talked about it. Cole Anthony for the Magic. They kept saying he's just not having a good night. He's just not having a good night. He was only 1 of 3 from the field. You know what his plus minus was?
What was it?
Minus 21.
4
That's
turnovers.
minus 21 plus minus. I was like, wow.
I've been kind of shocked with how his career has turned out.
Yeah, I
think
think
really
he'll be
good
better.
watching him in college and nothing's really happened with him.
No, and they got some young. This Magic team's very young talent. I like Wagner, like him, but they got some good young players. You know, Suggs didn't really do much tonight, but you know, Pope is the guy to me that seems like he always kills a Thunder Hunter. Done it to you? The guy always shoots well against a Hunter. Man, he probably shoots well against anybody, but
3 of 5, nothing outrageous tonight from beyond the arc. But KCP is one of the best veteran guards you can have in the NBA. I mean, it's the reason why the Lakers won the championship in the bubble in 2020.
Oh yeah.
And, I mean, a monumental part of the Nuggets as well. So, yeah, very good player in terms of that. And I think that's a great spot for him to be in. I mean, I don't know how many years he has left in the tank. I mean, he's 31, so a little bit more than you would think. If this Magic team's going to be able to make a run in the East, and I think they will in a couple of years. If Paulo Banchero can get healthy, I mean, very talented player. I think they could compete with the Celtics in a few years.
You know what I like about Magic too? When they really want to, they can D up. They got some defenders. You know, Suggs is really good. Anthony Black. When you just look at him, you think, wait, this guy's point guard. I mean, the guy's massive for a point guard, 6'7". He looks bigger than that. Appreciate it. Pink Floyd says came here to give it a like. Appreciate it. But they can defend very well, and they kind of locked the Thunder down there for a little bit tonight. Thunder was fortunate enough to kind of get back in gear and finish it off, but there for that while on that run, Hunter, that Thunder couldn't. The Thunder, to me, when they struggle the most is when they can't get it inside. They can't penetrate. A lot of it is one-on-one stuff sometimes, and if they are having a defender cut them off from the lane or whatever, they tend to struggle. And I love where they use Hart inside the top of the key and they bring somebody around like Jada on a full speed handoff and he can get downhill. I love it when they do that. And Jada, the monster slam on that one. Thought he might have jumped too early. Didn't know if he was going to get to the rim, man, but he just smashed that thing home.
What'd you think of the Alex Caruso? It didn't count. He got fouled.
That was I was hoping he would just jam that in, man.
I couldn't believe he went through with it because it's obvious he's getting fouled there. You would think, okay, like this is going to be a dangerous play. You take your foul and kind of move on, get the 2 at the free throw line, in which he did. But he went through with it, didn't go in. But yeah,
it was weird. Like on the play, it's like on the replay, he just kept going up. You're like, he was up there, man. I was like, wow.
He was trying for it. Like he was giving it everything he has. And you mentioned the defense tonight for Orlando. It's not often that the Thunder are only going to score 17 points in a quarter.
No.
And they did. They only scored 40 points in the second half.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You look at the let's see if I can get the.
It was 65 at halftime. Yeah.
Yeah. Of the shooting percentage for second half. I'll try.
It was 65-46 at halftime. So yeah, they kind of shut them down for sure. And then the other thing is, so tomorrow night, back to back, you mentioned it, Hunter. it'll be interesting to see what the Thunder do. If you look at the minutes played by them tonight, I do like that the fact that, other than J-Dub and Shea, I guess Hartenstein had 33 minutes too, so they did play quite a few minutes. But maybe tomorrow night you can maybe use Kenrich a little bit more. I think he's starting to play better, Hunter. I do. I think Kenrich is starting to play better. So he's giving him some good minutes now.
Yeah, Kenrich is this tonight wasn't anywhere close to best game of the year for him. But over the last couple of weeks since I started to say, okay, he's really has to figure it out. Like he has to, or it's not going to work, which would be unfortunate because I think he fits this team well. But coming off of injury, they needed somebody that's eligible to play the true five to be able to give you something when Isaiah Hartenstein is not in. And the last few nights he shot the three ball well. Tonight, not as much. 0 of 1. He only took 1, but plus 6 points, 2 rebounds, 3 fouls. Fouls tonight for the Thunder. They had 20 of them.
5, yeah.
Yeah, Dort. That's one thing that he's got to get better at. And sometimes he's too physical. How physical it is. It's like it's hard to tell a guy, like, hey, you need to not do that. But
I agree, Hunter, but sometimes it's 45 feet away from the basket.
Yes.
He doesn't need to be that physical out there.
What they need to really get him on is, okay, you're not going to foul off ball. It's just not going to happen. We're not doing it. Yeah. Where you foul on ball, playing physical, I mean, it's part of it. That's his style of play. That's why they call him the torture chamber, because he is just so physical. It's suffocating for these star scorers to be able to get buckets against them. So
I will say this though, Hunter, those refs were letting them play tonight. I mean, there was that one sequence.
Pissed.
Sequence, both coaches on the timeout went out to the court. Dagnall was on one ref, and the Orlando coach was on the other one, because they both got going to the rack, just got annihilated. J-Dub got destroyed going to the rack. I can't remember who it was for Orlando, but just got lit up and nothing. And it was just like, it was on the same sequence, like back and forth. I'm like, wow, they were letting them play. It was pretty wild, but big win for the Thunder, 105-99. This is a team, Orlando, that it's a good quality team on the road. It's a great win for the Thunder. And
at home for the Magic, this is only their second loss.
That's right.
They're 10-2 at home. So before tonight, 10-1. A young team, but a good team. Yeah. And to be able to hold on after giving up a 17-0 run in the middle of the third is, I think, telling a little bit of this team, of even when things aren't going their way, their ability to figure it out and find a way to win. Yeah, big time W for the Thunder. Appreciate everybody joining us tonight for the little instant reaction of the game. We will be back on here tomorrow night as the Thunder play again tomorrow night in the back-to-back. So appreciate everybody. Hey, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications. That way you know every time we go live. Also, join us on our Sooner Surge live every night at 9:30. We'll be coming right up here in 25 minutes as the Sooners, they sign some more guys out of the portal. So check that out at 9:30 tonight. Appreciate it. Talk to you next time.